Hello and welcome back. Thanks for joining. I'm just waiting on my daughter to finish her writing lesson. So I thought actually let's use this time and capture a new video. So today we want to talk about camping. No. Don't stop the video yet. I know camping is not for everyone, but you will be surprised what kind of hints I will also reveal in this video. If you are planning your trip, maybe now in summer, to the US and you still be a bit flexible, or maybe you are at the West Coast, I can give you a great hint how to make a fantastic camping trip out there for $1 a night. So therefore, please continue this video if you feel interested in this hint. And maybe you're one of them who's not very into camping. And I can relate. So when we lived in the US, we camped a lot, but we also had extreme weather conditions during our years camping. The other day, I was looking through some pictures of our time in the US, and I saw like we camped in snow. So when we visited the Yellowstone National Park, we camped, and it was September, but unfortunately it was already kind of the winter season coming. So when we woke up in the morning, everything was white and there was a lot of snow. Or we also had other summer vacation that we spent in Canada, and it was raining and it was cold the whole time. So yes, I can feel your pain, and therefore my dream was at least one trip to rent an RV, because every time when we had to set up our tents, I saw the people just coming on the campsite, and more or less, regardless if it was snowing or raining or whatsoever was the weather outside, they were sitting in the RV. They had a real bed, a real mattress to sleep on. So I thought it must be very enjoyable. So for me, it was a big thing to rent an RV. And so we did. But let's actually start with some facts about camping, especially for those who have never camped in the US and maybe, and they are missing out on that. In order to fill this gap, let me quickly share some information. So we camped usually in state parks and national parks. And here you have a lot of space. You cannot, most of the time when you set up your stuff on your campsite, you cannot even see your neighbor because it's, there's a huge space in between. And compared to here in Germany or in Europe, when you go camping there, it's very like every campsite is more or less next to each other. There's not much space in between. And in the US, most of the times there are a lot of woods, and and then you have every campsite has its own combined table with some bench. So you don't even need separate equipment. And every campsite also has its own fire ring. So to ensure you can grill your marshmallows or grill some steaks at night. So totally different compared to what you experience here. This is maybe now the reverse information for all the Americans coming to Europe or Germany and want to camp here. Don't expect the same equipment that you find in your home country. All right, but actually I promised to reveal some hints when it comes to RV camping. And here it comes. There are certain companies out there that you can look up and book online, and they offer relocation. Then you see from where you pick up the RV and where you have to drop it off. So it's very common at the West Coast. So we did this. We rented the RV in LA, and then we had 3 days to get from LA to Las Vegas. So we combined the trip with going into a national park and stayed a couple nights there. And then we drove to Las Vegas further. And then from Las Vegas, we took a rental car and then drove back to LA. And the reason why I bring this up is basically those relocations, if you are lucky and you find exactly the dates, the locations that fit to your schedule, we only paid $1, so $1 per night. There's a certain number of the certain amount of miles that's included, and if you drive further then the miles, the mile package that's included, then you pay a bit. However, compared to what it cost when you rent this at another RV site, of course it's very, very cheap. And we even had a trip. We rented an RV in New York and we had to drive them down to Florida. I think it was Orlando. Yes, it was Orlando because so we did this. We also again visited some national parks, and I think by then we had like 5 days in total. So we had 5 days for the trip from New York to Orlando, which I think it's around 18-hour drive. However, we split this in more nights and also visited some national parks. And by the end, before we flew back to New York, we went to Disney World in Orlando. So for this trip, we even we had all miles included. We paid $1 per night, plus we got all the gas that we had to pay. We got refunded by the location in Orlando. And I even think they gave us $200 for something else. So it was a really great trip. So therefore the $200 we then spent on Disney. So yes, so basically if you have a chance to be flexible, they are great opportunities and great options to do either camping in a tent or in an RV. But anyway, regardless how you like to spend your vacation, camping in the US is a lot of fun. You have a lot of space, especially for those knowing what camping looks like here in Germany or in Europe. So if you have more questions in regards to camping in the US, please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and you like the hints that I gave, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for free. And then you will also get more information about differences between America and Germany. And for now, I wish you a great day and hopefully you plan your next trip. Bye.